I love white chocolate pudding. How much? Oh, I sit up at night and I say to myself, what will I have for dessert today? And everybody says, you should have some fruit. And I say to them, no, I will have white chocolate pudding. Let me show you how to make it. This is best if you make it in the morning for dinner, or if you make it the night before for dinner, because it does need about 5 hours or so to become nice and hard in the refrigerator. Enough talking, let's snap into action. So in the pan that's nice and hot, the first thing that we do, we add the half and half. You can also add milk, but don't add cream alone. Cream will still work wonderfully well, but it's too heavy, I feel. Next thing, we go with the white chocolate. These days you can buy white chocolate just like the chocolate chips that we put inside the cookies. And at this point, the one thing that you want to do is to gently stir this over medium heat until all of the chocolate melts in there. At this point, there are several things that you could do. You could add chocolate liqueur if you want to. You could add rum. Rum is favored by the Italian bakers because it does not color the mixture. Chocolate liqueur, on the other hand, it would. But I like to maintain it simple, just exactly as it is. I just want the sugar and the chocolate to tell their story. Keep in mind, this is not a dish that you want to do on a daily basis because it will ruin your diet. Not because what you eat is too much, but because you're never gonna eat exactly one single portion. If you're anything like me, this could be a real problem. So do it sparingly once in a while, and when you do it, enjoy it. The white chocolate has melted completely. It's time for us to add the most important ingredient. Now, at this point, you want to have a whisk going at it continuously. And here we have the cornstarch. The cornstarch, you want to break as soon as it hits the cream, and you want to maintain this continuous stirring for avoiding that the cornstarch solidifies into little balls on the inside. What some of the people do, they like to add this to the half and half before you add it to the chocolate. I do not favor the technique. The reason why I do not favor the technique is because I found that many times what happens to the cornstarch, it doesn't quite liquefy into the pudding, and you still have an aftertaste of the powderiness of the uncooked cornstarch. Mamma mia, that's a lot of words, and all of them in English and with no accent. Well, maybe there was a lot of accent. Anyway, we gotta go into this now. You want to bring this to a boil, and you want to see the beginning of a thickening. Look at this, it's starting to thicken up. And this is the point where you know that you're pretty much where you want to go. And at this point, what we do, we turn off the heat underneath, because the coagulation of this pudding, the finishing part of this pudding, will actually happen in the refrigerator. We're going to add this attentively inside the martini glass, one of my favorite containers. For this to get the consistency that we want, we need to place it in the refrigerator for a few hours. Now, one of the great things is that this one has two different layers at the top of it. One is obviously the chocolate, and I'm going to cover all of it with chocolate as much as I can. Why is this important? And why dark chocolate instead of the white chocolate? This is a thing of mine. I totally get into it. But the chocolate is not the only thing we're gonna put in. It's an enormous amount of chopped pistachio. Why? First and foremost, Sicily is known for its pistachio. Second part of it is that I want, with every bite that you take, to have a certain crustiness that flows around. And look how beautiful it is as I turn it around. You see all the elements of the chocolate, the toasted pistachio. And then, in typical Sicilian fashion, we have to put a little cherry on top, a maraschino cherry. Why? Because it's even sweeter than the dessert. I know, I'm 60 years old and I'm still talking about dessert as if I was a child, but this is not a dessert. This is a time machine. This is something that brings you back to when life was beautiful, wonderful. And if you're having a bad day, if things are not going your way, you know what? Make yourself a wonderful white chocolate pudding. Why? I'll tell you why. Because it will make your life a lot better. It makes me smile every time. And this is how you make white chocolate pudding.